Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Orina. In view of the Supreme Court judgment on double tracking, the Goa Foundation has opposed the double tracking of railway track between Margao and Vasco. Director Claude Alvarez argued what is valid for wildlife is also applicable to human beings. The decision of the Supreme Court is also applicable outside the sanctuary. He also said that the Supreme Court has specifically stated that coal should not be brought through Goa but should be brought from Visakhapatnam to Bellary. This is a great boost to anti-coal campaign in Goa, he stated.
The argument made for protecting wildlife is also applicable to human beings, Claude Alvarez said. Goa Foundation called on to stop double tracking from Margao to Vasco. The decision of the Supreme Court is also applicable outside the sanctuary, Claude Alvarez said.
That if we respect the decision of the Supreme Court, it means don't do any more double tracking work in this area. And therefore, if the economic argument that this coal should not be taken from this area but should be taken through some other area is valid for the wildlife sanctuary, it is also valid for human beings. It is not that the wildlife is greater and human beings are less, or human beings are greater and wildlife is less. If you are doing something for the wildlife, you will also do it for the human beings. And it's very clear that if you want to protect the wildlife, which this is the reason why we went to the Supreme Court, then you will also have to consider the impact that this project will have on the area between Margao and Vasco, where there is a very huge agitation which is still alive, opposing double tracking. And we are also part of that campaign, and we also support that campaign. And according to us, the decision of the Supreme Court in respect of Mole Wildlife Sanctuary and National Park railway double tracking is also applicable to the area outside the wildlife sanctuary, particularly the area from Margao to Vasco. And we hope that the authorities will drop their land acquisition proceedings and will proceed to respect the decision of the Supreme Court and to keep this area single track. The Supreme Court has made a very specific recommendation on coal, which is of great importance to the agitation against coal and declaring or making Goa into a coal hub. And the Supreme Court has said we agree with the CEC that coal should not be brought through Goa, and it is better that it is brought through the other port from the east coast directly to Bellary rather than coming through Mormugao Port Trust going to Bellary. So this is going to be a very great boost to the anti-coal campaign, which was supported not just by the people of Goa but by two chief ministers of Goa, including Digambar Kamath and Manohar Parrikar. All of them had said that Goa should not be made into a coal hub. And so the Supreme Court has also said that we agree with the decision of the CEC, recommendation of the CEC, that you go to this port which is mentioned here, which is the Visakhapatnam port. It is another port in Andhra Pradesh, rather than cause this type of havoc which is going to be caused if this railway project is caused. The third aspect of the Supreme Court has emphasized is that this is a tiger corridor, which was never taken into consideration by the Indian Institute of Science, which did the wildlife study, and afterwards by the Wildlife Institute of India. They pretended that there was only some movement of tigers, but the fact is that this is declared as a tiger corridor by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. And that was never factored in by any of the authorities, including the Standing Committee of the National.
The parents of Nidhigupta have suspected foul play in their daughter's death at Arambol, Goa. Nidhi complained of chest pain in the wee hours while staying at Lotus Sutra, a mini resort at Arambol, and was immediately rushed to Thue Community Health Centre, where the doctors declared her brought dead. Perne police conducted a panchanama, but the family has submitted a memorandum to Perne Deputy Collector suspecting foul play and have demanded a thorough investigation.
So far, the death has been registered as unnatural death. After the family of the deceased suspected foul play, the matter is with the Deputy Collector Perne for inquiry. If the STM finds anything suspicious in the inquiry, then STM will lodge a complaint with us, and based on that, the case will be registered as murder, the police said.
We are at the place in Arabor where the incident took place on 29th of April. That is in the view hours. And the place of the incident is at a mini resort where Nidhigupta died in the hotel itself. Now, as per our sources, presently the case is with the Deputy Collector in Penne after the parent of the girl suspected foul play in the matter. The couple had arrived to Goa on the 24th of April. They first stayed at a hotel in Kalangut. On the 28th later, they came to Arambur. And on 28th night, the couple had dinner and went to sleep. Now, during the wee hours of the next day, she complained of chest pain. And then she was immediately shifted to the Tue Community Health Center where the doctors on duty declared her brought dead. Penne police had conducted the Panchnama. The cause of the death has been not revealed as the viscera has been preserved yet. Yes, point to be noted is that the viscera has been preserved. Now the family has submitted a memorandum to the Perne Deputy Collector stating foul play and have demanded thorough investigation. Now, as per police sources, the Perne police station said that so far the case is being investigated as unnatural death by us. After the family of the deceased suspected foul play and the matter is with the Deputy Collector Perne for inquiry. If the SDM finds anything suspicious in the inquiry, then SDM will lodge a complaint with us and based on the case, we will register it as a murder. This is Clinton D'Souza with Ashmita Polji for Herald TV.
In a surprising admission, Revenue Minister Athanasio Montserrat admitted that red tapeism exists in government. When asked if his department also suffers due to delays, he said red tapeism exists in government. He also admitted that quality suffers in government since it goes for the lowest tender. He also stressed the need for technological changes in the Revenue Department and the need to train all Revenue Department staff. Referring to the Bangini garbage plant, Montserrat said it is under process since there was only one tender bid for the project.
Revenue Minister Athanasio Montserrat admitted that red tapeism exists in government. He also admitted that quality also suffers since government goes for lowest tender. Babush also stressed the need to train all revenue department staff.
Government red tapeism असताच न्हू
Common.
मागीर तें quality आसता. You see the lowest part of it is the same. And technology is basically changes every day. So you should always keep updating the thing on every day-to-day basis.
Okay. Revenue department IT regarding थोडे अपग्रेडेशन जावपा जाय दिसता IT स्टाफाक आनी बाकीचे मामलेदार बी तांकां ट्रेनिंग
तलाटींक लागून जायते ट्रेनिंग दिवंक जाय. देर सी मामलेदारांक तलाटींक मागीर सगळे AK बी सगळे गेलेले. एवरीवन नीड्स टू बेसिकली go for a training. It is basically those the mamaladas basically should identify those people. See, whoever, suppose you are on a computer, you feel that Baba, that fellow is not up to the mark. Send him for training. It is their job, Mamlada's job, Deputy Collector's job, the Collector's job. It is for them to see that their staff functions for what they have taken for.
Okay, so knowledge upgradation जावपा जाय.
जावंक जायच.
आयज ते पंचायतीन म्हणटा फाल्यां ते आमदार जातले सो तेचेर
आटलोच ना गेले फाटीं थिंगा myself Kortali. Okay. See, this is democracy. Anyone can contest from anywhere. Yeah, at least as an MLA, as long as you are a voter of anywhere from the state of Goa, you can contest. MP, I can tomorrow I can go and contest in maybe in any other state.
Porvorim police seized cannabis spiced medicines weighing approximately 7 kilograms from a store-cum-pharmacy called Kannada clinic at Porvorim. The drugs are worth rupees 2.23 lakh. It was during patrolling late on Tuesday evening that Porvorim police found the clinic, and upon investigation they discovered and found various medicinal products containing cannabis being displayed for sale, which they said was illegal.
Porvorim police seized cannabis-spiced medicines weighing approximately 7 kgs worth rupees 2.23 lakh at Kannada Clinic, Porvorim. Police discovered the store during patrolling and found medicinal products containing cannabis being displayed for sale. Police have registered an offence under Section 20B, subsection 2B of NDPS Act 1985 against owner Arjun Kumar, a native of Delhi.
So yesterday during patrolling it was found that there was a clinic at Parvarim near Okogero Circle which was named as Cannadoc. So after some inquiry and it was found that it is possible that there were cannabis or marijuana related products that were being sold there. So PI Parvarim led a team and carried out a search and panchnama over there of the articles found there. It was found that there were around 80 boxes of different articles such as toffees, chocolates and powders which contained cannabis in some quantity, and it is completely illegal to sell or to store or stock such kind of products. There was no license, anything which is impossible to have, and therefore we have registered a case of NDPS. We have registered a case under NDPS Act and we have seized all the articles. Further investigation regarding manufacturer and supply chain is currently being carried out, and once that investigation is complete, we'll have a clearer picture of how that happened.
What rupees? How much it was?
It was worth around rupees 2.25 lakh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the person who is from the Parvari only, or he is from outside?
There was a lady who was sitting in that store as the storekeeper, and the owner. We are interrogating that lady to ascertain the identity of the owner. We will dispatch a team for finding who the owner is, and we will complete the investigation. It was a good work on field by Parvarim police station, which was very vigilant in patrolling the area to discover this kind of a shop which was being run like a fake Ayurvedic pharmacy, but actually it was selling cannabis related articles.
Okay. और ऐसा भी देखा गया कि पेंजिम के अंदर मोस्ट प्रोबेबली जब वो बलून्स वाले या कोई लामानी लोग ये लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि वहाँ पे वो लोग गांजा वगैरह बेचते हैं, बोलते कुछ डाउट है आपके ऊपर?
हम लोग इस पे वी हैव केप्ट स्ट्रॉन्ग वॉच ऑन एनी एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट्स who may be peddling in drugs. Regular cases are being booked regarding peddling of narcotic items, and whenever any information comes to us, we ensure that swift action is taken on that information.
Thank you.
The old Goa Kannada Mahasanghas decided to contest the Goa Panchayat elections, which are tentatively due in June. Honorary President Siddhana Methi said the Kannada Mahasangh will float a panel of candidates for the upcoming Panchayat elections in Goa. They plan to contest at least in villages with strong Kannadiga presence. Meanwhile, Minister for Revenue Athanasio Monserrat said anyone who is a citizen of India is free to contest the elections.
The All Goa Kannada Mahasangh has decided to contest the Goa Panchayat elections. They plan to contest at least in villages with strong Kannadiga presence. The Goa Panchayat elections are tentatively due in June.
अभी पंचायत इलेक्शन जून 15 तक ऐसा डिक्लेरेशन होने वाला ऐसा मैसेज है। तो ऑलरेडी जो हमारा कन्नड़िगा लोग जहाँ ज़्यादा वार्ड में रुकता है वहाँ हम लोग यूनिटी होके मेरे पास संपर्क कर रहे हैं। पिछले टाइम हम लोग संकोल पंचायत हम लोग बहुत पुराने से मतलब 2002-3-4 से रवि घोड़ा करके हमारा था, तब से हमारा पैनल वहाँ पे स्ट्रॉन्ग सांकोल पंचायत में हर बार एक 3-4-5 कैंडिडेट ऐसा जीतते आता है। मेरा भाई भी 2 बार वहाँ पे शरण मेटी सरपंच बन चुका है और मेरा वाइफ भी कर्नाटक में जिला पंचायत प्रेसिडेंट बन चुका है। वहाँ 213 पंचायत का वो हेड बन के हमको अनुभव है कि उस एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से हम यहाँ पे गोवा में भी कन्नड़ी लोग कहाँ कहाँ स्ट्रांग है, बिचोली है, कलनगुड़ वड्डे है, यहाँ सांकवाड़ है। यहाँ पे किसी को इंटरेस्ट है तो हम कन्नड़ा पैनल बना के वहाँ पे स्ट्रांग जो रुकने वाला है उन लोगों को हिम्मत दे के आने वाला पंचायत इलेक्शन में जितना लोग खड़ा रहता है उन लोग इंटरेस्ट उन लोगों को जिता के लाने के लिए मैं उन लोगों को सपोर्ट करता है।
कॉन्टेस्ट करेगा। अभी रिजर्वेशन देखेगा, वार्ड का कौन सा रिजर्वेशन है देखेगा। वहाँ पे हमारा सिटिंग एमएलए है, एंटोनी साहब है, और अपना मेटी साहब भी है, सीताराम मेटी साहब। और गया इलेक्शन में भी उन्होंने अपना उधर बहुत सारा कैंडिडेट को 4-5 अपना कैंडिडेट को जिता के उधर पैनल बना के उनका भाई को सरपंच बनाया था। इस बार भी मेटी साहब और अपना एंटोनी साहब दोनों मिलके वहाँ पे पैनल बनाएगा। उस पैनल पे हम भी वो रिजर्वेशन देख के हम कौन सा वार्ड में कॉन्टेस्ट करना है वो देख के कॉन्टेस्ट करें।
इतना छोटा उम्र में हमारा कन्नड़ का एक जो है वो डॉक्टरेट अवार्ड मिला है। हम पूरा गोवा वाला को ये हम दिखाना चाहता है कि हम भी कुछ है यहाँ पर। हम साथ में चलते हैं। मैं 4 जनरेशन से मैं यहीं पर हूँ और इनका पिताजी का आशीर्वाद सदा मेरे साथ है। और आने दिनों में हम ग्राम पंचायत में हम लोग पैनल बनाने वाला है और हनुमंता ऑलरेडी अभी वो फॉर्म भरने के लिए हो चुका है। हम कम से कम 10 आदमी लोग को ये पैनल बनाने के लिए हम लोग रिक्वेस्ट किया है हमारा सिद्धार्थ मीटिंग को और उसका मिसिस को। एक साथ गोवा वाला को लेके हमारे कन्नड़ लोग के ये पैनल को हम सब साथ देंगे बल्कि इस उम्मीद पे मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
Everyone is welcome. This is democracy, no? Kannada people, actually Kannada, there are many Kannada people living in Goa, no? So it is not necessary that Kannada, because of Kannada people will vote for Kannadas only.
आयज ते पंचायतीन म्हणटा फाल्यां ते आमदार जातले, सो तेचेर
आतलोच ना गेली पाटी हिंगा मायसे हिंगा कोर्ताली. See, this is democracy. Anyone can contest from anywhere. Yeah, at least as an MLA, as long as you are a voter of anywhere from the state of Goa, you can contest. MP, I can tomorrow I can go and contest in maybe in any other state. So I am entitled as a citizen of India.
सो कन्नडिगा आमदार जाले म्हणून तुमकां काय भंय ना?
भंय भंय आसपाचे प्रश्न येना न्हू. So it is ultimately the people who gets them elected.
Kiran Borkar for Herald TV.
Tourism Minister Rohan Kaunte held a meeting with the Tourism Department officials, GDTC officials, DGP and GEL officials over the illegal activities on the roads and Goan beaches which create an irritation for tourists. Speaking to media, Rohan said, "We want to create an impression of clean and safe beaches and the best tourist destination. There is a need for the police to tackle all the illegal activities." He also said fines to tourists would be reviewed.
Tourism Minister said, "We want to create an impression of clean and safe beaches and the best tourism destination. There is a need for the police to tackle all the illegal activities," Rohan Kaunte said. He also said that traffic fines to the tourists should be reviewed.
Tourism sector and already we have started taking the changes, getting reforms what are required. Beach ajir paytagar beach cleaning जाओ, बाकीचे beach safety जाओ, other issues which are there illegally happening. That is something which have been irritating the tourists who have been coming down. आम्ही clean आणि safe beaches समज घेतली message. A lot of things needed to be done. आज we have had meetings with the DGP and the concerned police officials that we need to work together, ensure that Atithi Devo Bhava really comes in proper form. एक म्हणल्यार फाईन जे टुरिस्टांक मारता unwantedly, the harassment or I would say the problems of the tourist face normally on the highways or roads, whether they are 2-wheelers or 4-wheelers, where they are stopped for chalan, ते पहिले परत रिव्यू करून तांकां कशें बरें करचें पडटा, how we can be more hospitable to them and show that we are really meaning the theme of Atithi Devo Bhava is one part. Secondly, जो आमचे in terms of the beach, थंय बीच मॅनेजमेंटाक सर्वेलन्स कॅमेराज, how we can get better equipped facilities in terms of creating security to the tourist who is coming, who is using this particular beach, at the same time ensuring that whatever facilities are required we are able to provide to them. हातून पुलिसेचो रोल अलॉंग विथ आमचे सेक्युरिटी नाल्यार वॉर्डन जे आसता तांचो इम्पॉर्टंट आसा कोऑर्डिनेशनाक. जंय बीच क्लिनिंग कंपनी आसा, एक दृष्टी जी लायफ सेविंगा खातीर आसा, मागीर तुजी डायरेक्टर ऑफ टुरिझम आसा, पुलीस आसा, ह्यो सगळ्यो एजन्सीज नीड टू कोऑर्डिनेट टुगेदर टू एन्श्योर वी आर एबल टू गेट दिस पर्टिक्युलर आउटपुट. we need some immediate action to be taken on illegalities that are happening along the coastal belt, which normally create harm to the tourists who are coming down and give a bad message. आज आम्ही जो रिव्ह्यू घेतला त्या रिव्ह्यूप्रमाणे we will ensure that proper monitoring is done. Action against illegal things will start. Use of technology in the next few weeks, we will start to ensure smooth coordination so that in the first instance the stakeholders are there, and second we will also try and take the public in between, so we are able to create in the coming season, we are able to create that impression of clean and safe beaches for the people of Goa. So beach cleaning जो असा तो integrated management policies आहे पडटली, जातूंतल्यान not only cleaning but surveillance, clearing of illegalities, ensuring safety, surveillance not only through police but also through cameras. Everything will be in this area on priority taken up and taken out through the next coming weeks. So आयच्या मिटिंगेंतल्यान we will ensure that we take every stakeholder and talk to them.
With taps running dry in some parts of the state, PWD Minister Nilesh Kabral has said his department will work towards supplying at least 4 to 5 hours of continuous water supply to all houses. His department would then gradually move to 24 hours water supply after gathering more information about water storage in the state. Kabral has also aimed to make sure Goa is 100% pothole free by the end of May. However, due to unseasonal rains, the work pertaining to hot mixing of roads is delayed.
PWD Minister Nilesh Kabral aims at providing at least 4 to 5 hours of continuous water supply. After conducting a study about the existing pipelines in the state, his aim is to supply water for 24 hours. Kabral has aimed to make sure Goa is 100% potholes free by the end of May. But due to unseasonal rainfall, the hot mixing of roads is delayed, he said.
Holistic picture करपाक जाय, सो तेजे खातीर काम करतलो. जशें हांवें पयलीं सांगलां की 4-5 वरां उदक लोकांक मेळपाकूच जाय, ते पयलीं स्टार्ट जाता आनी ओवर अ पिरियड ऑफ टायम मागीर 24 वरां उदक मेळपाक जाय. सो तेजे खातीर काम करपाचो प्रयत्न करता. आनी ऑफेंड जर तुवें म्हाका विचारलें आतां सद्या कितें करता, पयलीं जो आसा तो एक्झिस्टींग स्ट्रेंथ म्हणजे जो पायपलायन बाकीचे गोष्टी टँक्स हे सगळे कंपायल करपाक लायला तांकां डिपार्टमेंटान. ते कंपायल करतरी तेंचे कडेन फिडबॅक येता, थंय खंय आसा ते उदक कमी पडटा, वॉट इज द रिजन, ते सगळे कंपायल करून जाय जाल्यार इफ रिक्वायर्ड आमी कन्सल्टंटूय अपॉयंट करून, जे फाटले कन्सल्टंट जायका कडेन थोडो एकूच भाग केल्लो आनी कोण एकूच भाग कंबायंड गोवाचो स्ट्रेंथ कशें उदक 24 वरां दिवपाक जाय, इमिजिएट सोल्युशन कितें, मागीर कितें, हे सगळे स्टडी करून आमी करपाचो प्रयत्न करता.
आनी सर आतां रोड हॉट मिक्सिंग चालू आसा आनी पोतोलय पुरप जालो आनी पावस आतां फुडें येवपाचो, सो त्याच्या वजन सगळे सर पोतोल्स फ्री आसतले मनसून टायम.
सी हांवें आज स्टेटमेंट केलो, तो म्हजो स्टेटमेंट इंटरप्ट दुसरो केला. सी स्टेटमेंट म्हणजे कितें की प्रयत्न आसा की 100% पोटोल पुरोवपाचे. आतां पावस तुमीच म्हणटा की पावस येता आनी वयता, सी हॉट मिक्स करता तेन्ना पावस पडपाक जायना. सो दीस सिजनल रेन जे अनसिजनल रेन आसा हो आतां पडटा तेन्ना ऑटोमॅटिकली काम बंद करूंक पडटा. सो हेजे खातीर मे बी थोडे उडोवंक शकता, हांव ना म्हणना. आमचो आयडिया आसा की 100% कवर करपाक जाय. एटलिस्ट नॅशनल हायवे, स्टेट हायवे, MDR रोड, आमचे भितरले मेन रोड आसा सगळे कवर. आतां इंटरनल रोड जे कोणाचे पयलो एक स्टेटमेंट कोणें इंटरनल रोडाचेर उलयलो. इंटरनल रोड कित्याक हॉट मिक्स स्टेशनू आसता थंय. सो हॉट मिक्स स्टेशन पयलींच ते इल्लिगल कोणें घरां बांदली, इल्लिगल प्लॉट करून रस्ते सोडल्या, तितून आतां PWD मेंटेन करता. तितून भितर जर मेशीन वचना, पेवर वचना, ताका सोल्युशन कितें, ताका फूल ग्राउंड करूंक पडटा. आनी फूल ग्राउंड करता तेन्ना वॉटर बी आउटलेट ना जाल्यार कुतून वयता. सो हेजे खातीर मे बी थोडे उडोवंक शकता म्हटलें हांवें. आमचे PWD भितर टेक्निकल टीम आसा, दे डिसायड ऑन वीच रोड शूड बी कार्पेट, वीच रोड शूड हॅव BC, वीच रोड शूड हॅव कितें आसा थिकनेस, कसले मॅकडॅम घालपाचें कितें, ते डिसायड. बेस्ड ऑन दॅट इफ दे हॅव फावंड दॅट दीस रोड रिक्वायर्स अ सिंगल लेयर, इट इज फॉर देम टू डिसायड. आनी अशें जर जालां की सिंगल लेयर घालतरी रस्तो केला, तेजी इन्क्वायरी हांव करून ताका सोसकोस लायतलो. अल्टिमेटली
Activists in the Western Bypass on Stilts movement have argued that traditional knowledge and ancestral history of locals is ignored in any development project. The entire ecosystem, beginning with the Sal River from Nuve, is linked. The fields are from east to west to allow drainage of water, but putting only 2 box culverts will destroy the ecosystem. Instead, it is seen wherever there is a bypass on stilts, the environment has been saved.
Activists argue that traditional knowledge and ancestral history of locals is ignored in any development project. Box culverts destroy the hydrology and water flow, say activists. Wherever there is western bypass on stilts, there is no flooding and destruction of field. Box culverts destroy the hydrology and water flow. In Nuve, even non-acquired land has been rendered uncultivable, as also in Goroti village. In Naveli, where former MLA Luisino Falero pushed for the western bypass on stilt, there is no flooding and destruction of fields, Royla Fernandez stated.
All these agricultural lands are east-west, so the water flows naturally. Tomorrow when the western bypass comes in there, we are not against the western bypass. We are pro-development.
Absolutely correct.
But what we say is when you put just box culverts, you're destroying the hydrology, the normal flow. You're destroying the agricultural lands. How does the farmer access? If you consider this as a table and this is the stretch of the western bypass, we just have two openings in this entire stretch as per the proposal even right now given by the PWD. How do you feed this water on either sides? If you have observed any place where there is a stretch of road and fields and a culvert, the area on either sides gets washed away. So it means you have acquired my land here. It is now the government's property. But because of this act, you're destroying my land too, which is not acquired. And for a fact, if you go to Nuve, where the western bypass is already constructed, I have affidavits of farmers which I produced in the court to show that the non-acquired land has been rendered uncultivable and the farmers cannot grow crops there. So that's a case study for us to apply here in Benauli before the damage is done.
This has happened in...
It's Nuve, it's already happened.
Okay.
If you go to Goroti village, the farmers there are there to tell you...
That is for which project?
The western bypass.
Same project, yes.
The same project. And what something which is interesting is Benauli floods annually. It's over years, over 80 plus years. Herald will be definitely documenting it in June again. But what we have seen is in Naveli, we have got stilts, which we never heard about flooding there.
Right.
How was it that Naveli got stilts? It was during that term when the ex-MLA was there, Mr. Luisino Falero. I found on record there are letters sent by him to the Chief Minister, then Chief Minister Mr. Parrikar, and he was instrumental in getting the stilts there, partially, not the entire stretch.
So you're essentially saying that the stilt experiment has worked in Naveli?
Has worked in Naveli. So why not for Benauli, where it gets... And flooding doesn't mean that water comes on the road. This is a normal thing. Water is coming on the road, it's flooding. No, that's not. When water seeks its own level, when water reaches in fields, in areas which never get flooded, you know that water has taken its level and those people there are getting affected.
And that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.